How you doing? It's Jody Coleman, the host of Against the Grain Sports. We're right back at you. We're doing the draft, a recap. We're ready. We got on our right, we got Jason Coleman, our college football analyst.
What's up, America? How y'all doing?
To my left, we got Byron Parker, our NBA analyst.
Hello, people. How are y'all?
And we're about to recap this draft. This is what we do. We're going to make it happen for you guys. Sorry we kept y'all waiting so long, but there's so many things going on. We're trying to get it to you raw. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start off right here to your right with Jason Coleman. You're going to give us your draft recap and what you've seen in the draft that really surprised you.
This draft, this is one of the strongest drafts we've probably had in recent years. I think if you have multiple picks in this draft, it was a good draft to have multiple picks to rebuild, replenish your roster. I think a lot of teams made out well in this draft because, with the chance they had, the chance you get with this draft being so strong, a lot of needs and holes could have been filled in this draft.
But I think this draft we all got a chance to evaluate it. I think if you're a team who's in the middle of the pack, this is where the team you can really get to the upper echelon to help your team either make a playoff run or a Super Bowl run, because this is where you want to get. This is where your personnel, your scouts, your GMs, your executives. This is where you really do your brainstorm, because this is where you want to get better. You don't want to sit at the bottom barrel no more, because this is where you want to get better.
I think the draft is excellent, and we're going to look back at the next 5 years, and we're going to see potential Hall of Famers in this draft. We're going to see a lot of potential Pro Bowlers in this draft. Like you said before, it's a lot of guys that can fill rosters. I really believe that they're going to make they're going to make their teams better. It's a lot of guys that's going to be starting, not just in the first round, second round, but it's a lot of third and fourth rounders that will be starting when this NFL season starts. That's my bold prediction on Against the Grain Sports Show host Jody Coleman. But we're gonna go ahead and get into our winners and losers of the draft. We're gonna go here with Parker. Give me your winners of this NFL draft.
I like the New England Patriots. I say because they went and filled a need on defense. They know they can score on offense, but you can't stop no one on defense. There's no point. Look at the Super Bowl. They couldn't stop no one.
Right.
Second one, Cincinnati Bengals. I think where Marvin Lewis went on a balance. They went on offensive line. They went defensive line. Then when I got Draper Patrick, I think Draper Patrick is going to be a Pro Bowl, because you come in the AFC North, you got to be physical. You're not going to be physical on any given Sunday, oh, man, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. Anybody else you got in mind?
I like what the Pittsburgh Steelers done. I know a lot of people don't like the Steelers, but you got to think they start finding ways to protect Ben Roethlisberger.
Absolutely.
If you don't find a way to protect your quarterback, oh, man, you're in trouble.
And that's a good point. Now you got two teams out of the AFC North that are definitely going to get better. We're going to talk about it a little later in the show. Jason, how you feel?
Parker, I think we were covering the same notes, because I got those are the top three teams in the draft that I think did extremely well. I want to add in the fact that I think the Dallas Cowboys did well, and it just maybe just going up against one player, but I think that Lavorice Claiborne was such a need for the Cowboys, given the fact that Victor Cruz absolutely eats their lunch. And I think that adding Morris Claiborne, elite shutdown corner, I think might be one of the best corners to come in the league in a long time. So I would say Joe Hayden. I think that was a big need to trade up and actually go get him. Okay. Also, and I like what the St. Louis Rams did. I think what they did was phenomenal. The fact that they started out at the number 2 position, traded back, grabbed a couple of picks for the Robert Griffin trade, obviously, then traded back some more, and still getting a player that they actually targeted and blockers, and then adding 2 potential starting cornerbacks in Janoris Jenkins and Tremaine McBride. We're actually going to
Jenkins did have a lot of off-the-field things. That's why he left and went to Northern Alabama.
Exactly.
It's a high-risk, high-reward.
It's a high-risk, high-reward type of thing, but I think, you get a professional like Jeff Fisher to work with him. They don't know who their defensive coordinator is, obviously, right now, but you get Jeff Fisher working with them. You got a guy who might be the dirtiest player in the game, but he's an absolute professional in Courtney Finnegan.
Absolutely great guy to have in your secondary. My winners, I really believe, is the Packers. The Green Bay Packers offensively is a juggernaut. They have a quarterback that's going to be there for some years to come. I think they went in and get some great holes filled on the defense side of the ball, where they already had great players on the defense side of the ball. Now they made them better and got some depth, because injuries really riddled them towards the end of the year. And last year, when they actually did win the Super Bowl, they had 15 guys on the IR. Right. The Bengals and the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, but I have to give credit when credit is due. Like you said before, Kilpatrick, I think, is going to be a Pro Bowler. He's a Louis Phillips type of cornerback. He's physical, coming from Alabama, an NFL style that ran a 3-4. as well as a 4-3 defense. They ran a cover 2 defense. Anything you did in the NFL level, Nick Saban had implemented in the Alabama system so that kid can play. He may be, and I'm going on it, he may be the first Pro Bowler out of any defensive back. That's including Claiborne. And I'm going against the grain on that. And also a team that made some strides. I'm being a homer, but the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, I know y'all like, well, you like the Browns. No, actually, Cleveland made some holes. They filled a lot of holes. They went and got the quarterback that can make all throws and Wheaton. Everybody like, well, he's 28, but the kid, if you take him 6 years ago, the kid would have been probably up there in the top 3 picks.
Top 3 picks, exactly.
Absolutely.
So let's not let the age be a factor. I'm getting Trent Richardson the best running back in the draft.
I would say, and you got to look at even with the brand leading pick. I mean, you look at guys like Kurt Warner, who comes in the league at 28 years old. I mean, this guy's already been a professional baseball player, so he knows the ups and downs of being a professional already.
Absolutely. And like I said, Cleveland filled holes, and not to give a little history on Cleveland, the last maybe 5 or 6 years we have built through the draft. A lot of those position players that we have are through the draft, not free agency, and that's how you build a championship team. So I think we're still a couple years away.
I think a lot of people don't understand is what the Browns has infrastructure over the last few years. Even when Mike Homer took over, he said, look, if we're going to build this team right, let's build it through the draft. You get these extra picks, get them back. Even with the 13 picks y'all had, y'all would say, okay, we can move up to Trent Richardson, we still have 10 picks left.
We have a lot of starters. We have Joe Thomas is a starter. Alex Mack was a starter. All these guys. Trent Richardson will be a starter. Casey Wheaton will be a starter.
Greg
Little. We got Jabbar Sheed. We got Phil Taylor. All these guys are starters. Joe Hayden, T.J. Ward, all through the draft. But continuing on, another team. I got 2 other teams that I want to showcase, and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, who methodically does it year in and year out. Methodically does. They get guys to take their place. I like the Spencer kid they got from Miami.
Yes.
He's going to be the heir apparent. He will be the heir apparent of James Harrison. I guarantee you. That's going to be the replacement for James Harrison.
I think actually probably won't replace James Harrison. He's more of an inside guy because he plays.
But they can't move around like they did.
They can't move around. But I think an underrated factor is I think what people don't realize is with the Steelers, the pick I would really like them making was the Mike Adams pick.
Right.
Awesome.
He's
awesome.
Mike Adams is a phenomenal pass protector. Now, if they can get him to fight with a little dog in him, and he can be an elite left tackle in this league.
And then the last team, I think, was the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, it's a no-brainer with Andrew Luck, but it was them getting their tight end. So now he has somebody he feels comfortable throwing into in week 1, because he will be your week 1 starter.
Right, exactly. Actually, they got tight ends. They got the 2 best tight ends in the draft. They went and got Dwayne Allen as well.
And that's always a young quarterback, a best friend. If you look at Cam Newton, he had 2 guys, Jeremy Shockey, and he had Greg Olsen. And we're going to go with the losers. So I'm going to start with you. Who are the losers?
My losers start off. I first go with the Seattle Seahawks. You could have got Bruce Irvin probably later on in the first round. The Oakland Raiders, they didn't have a pick.
Right.
The New York Jets, I think you passed on a better player in Melvin Ingram for a guy with potential upside, but he's not always there in Quentin Copel, so I didn't really like that pick. San Francisco 49ers, I think the reach for Jenkins, a guy who can easily be razzled with some physical contact, was a definite swing. I didn't like what Arizona did either. I felt there was other needs out there instead of drafting Michael Floyd, even though he's a talented player. And also I went with Detroit because I think they still didn't address their situation in the cornerback position.
I think you look at it, I think Arizona, you hit the nail, Jason. I think what Arizona, I didn't mind them drafting Michael Floyd, but you had a problem with your offensive line where they could protect Kevin Cobb. How you going to...
Cobb may not be the starter.
Okay, fact. I'll give you that. That's a fact. But my thing is that you got to do that. And I think Arizona will be my loser.
My losers, because we got to wrap it up, and we'll be right back. But we'll wrap it up with this final thought. The losers for me is the Washington Redskins. I know you're like, what? Well, you go get RG3, you trade up to get, and then you go get Kirk Cousins. You already got a quarterback competition before you even get in the camp. Kirk Cousins is a guy that can be a potential starter. He may even have a learning curve over RG3. That is the biggest loser in the draft. The Redskins have so many needs. You go get Kirk Cousins, and you already pick RG3. Actually, Kirk Cousins started more games than RG3 because RG3 had an injury.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That really mind boggles me. And the last one I'm going to say, well, I got 2. The Ravens, they didn't get younger. They didn't address any issues they need. They're still old. And then also you got to go with the New Orleans Saints, who with all these players are about to be suspended. They didn't have enough draft picks to get anybody to regenerate that defense. Their offense is going to have to score 40 points a game.
Yeah.
And that's my losers. The NFL is back. The marketing is doing an outstanding job because it overshadows every other league, baseball and basketball. We always talk about football year-round. We talk about football against the grain sports. I'm your host, Jody Coleman. We got Jason Coleman and Byron Parker. We'll be back. Y'all let us know how y'all feel. Leave comments. Let us know what's going on. Peace.